So, we're going to be talking about how to handle the open house session when a client comes in. I've taken a look at the assessment form, and that is really a set of questions. Um, However, we don't want it to seem like merely a script or like a doctor's appointment. That's not the purpose of the open house. You can use this as a way to capture information, but the assessment form must not be the basis of your interaction with the client or the prospective client. What we have to think of this is more like a relationship. Um, Somebody that you want to become a part of your life as a friend, or even an intimate relationship, or think about it as joining a church, a community of people, or being a member of like the Kiwanis Club, some group that you want to engage with socially, emotionally, intellectually, and also get some important work done. So they come in, and the first thing that you do, of course, is welcome them into the room and identify where they're to sit. You are the one that should identify and indicate, sit here. Mom, you tell the parents where to sit and where do you want the child to sit, if it's a child. You should be thinking about that ahead of time. Prepare your room to one, position the student where you want them to in relation to your equipment or the piano or guitars or so on, and then also indicate where you want the grandparents, parents, friends to sit. And make sure you arrange the room that way ahead of time so that there's not a lot of shuffling around. It also seems very professional that you've thought of that ahead of time. Secondly, the first thing that you want to do is to introduce yourself to them and the school. But you introduce yourself as a person. Right? You may decide to write on the board your name either ahead of time. So I could say, my name is, and I could write it, Seretse Small. Now, writing it has an advantage in that seeing the words come out one at a time often ingrains it and makes it more active in the person's memory. The disadvantage of writing it is that you have to write it. It takes time, right? And that may be considered a waste. And Sashana will say, that's not Kaizen. That's not value. Right. So, but if you're using a room that's used by multiple mentors, then you may have to do that. But your name. And then have a way of introducing who you are. Think of it as, my name is Seretse Small. Let me tell you what my standards are. So I can quickly say, I have studied at the Endemali College. I have gone abroad at Berkeley and I've done some studies. I have never achieved any certification. However, I have been a professional musician for more than 35 years, going 40 years, and I have performed at various festivals, so and so church. I've been a church worship leader. I've taught at high schools, and I can tell them my story quickly and succinctly. What's the purpose of this? I want to give them a feel of who they're entering into a relationship with. I want to give them a feel of the breadth of my interests, what excites me and what training I've gotten and what experience I've gotten at what level with the type of persons I've done it with. So indicating that you have worked in studios and stages might be of value to some persons versus I did do some time in a church as a worship leader or a choir master. So communicate those things. So the first thing is a personal introduction. Right. Personal first. Secondly, go quickly into the school itself. This is very brief. It's our basic history, how long we've been in existence, and the basic elements of our program. One-on-one lessons, group lessons, the fact that we London College of Music, our end of term concerts, all of those things. Just describe the school as succinctly as you can. Then I would recommend At this point, a short performance to indicate your ability and your interest. So you could say, I'll play for you. It could be a classical piece. I generally tend to cycle through a couple styles. I like to do Bob Marley, and then I'll do some rock. I will do some improvisation. These are not full pieces. These are little snippets, just enough to give the persons there a sense of who you are. You also want to discuss your limitations. If you are not good at classical, just say so. If you're really good at reggae and dancehall, but you can't read music, just say so. Right? That often gives a lot of confidence. One student who signed on recently signed on because Kadian said she is studying music theory because Kadian is not good at music theory. The girl said, wow, if she can be so honest, then she's the person I want to be with. So, vulnerability and honesty all the way, right? So once you've done this part, which is the personal intro, then now, hopefully you should have made a connection. We go as smoothly as we can. If you don't sense any friction, you have to look at the people and see if they're really absorbing or if they're excited about something, especially in the performance part. Look for inspiration. That might be the point at which the student or the adults might have a reaction, and you sense, oh, they really like that, or they're really pleased with that. And make a note of that. You might want to follow up on that. Then now, we're going to ask some questions. Now, the questions that we want to ask are going to be based on a listening mindset. So it's a question to say, I want to hear what you have to say on this matter. And we're going to take a short break now for this ad.